Alright, let's practice an easy problem. Problem 2315, count asterisks. So for this problem, we're going to practice two solutions. One is a direct count, and the other is simulation by stack for details. So first, I'll go through the statement of the problem, and then we will explain quickly the method, and then we're going to share the code. So first, let's look at the statement of the problem. So we are given a string S, where every two consecutive vertical bars are grouped into a pair. So in other words, the first and second paths make a pair. Similarly for the third and the fourth one, and so on. So we are required to return the number of stars in S, excluding the stars between each pair of paths. So note that each path will belong to exactly one pair. So let's look at the examples to gain a better intuition. So in the first example, so this is the first path and this is the second path. So the stars in between does not count. So this is the third one and this is the fourth one. So the last path, last star does not count. So these two stars are to be counted. So the return is 2. So in example 2, there are no stars or paths, so the return is 0. In example 3, so this is the one pair, so this is the one pair, and this is the one pair. So these two stars and these 3 stars are to be counted, so the return is 5. So let's also quickly look at the constraints. The first one is about the length, which is less or equal to 1000. That's a good one. And secondly, S consists of lowercase English letters, vertical bars, or asterisks. The third one actually is an consistency assumption. So S contains an even number of vertical bars. So with this statement went over, let's look at the methods. So the first method is a simulation for details by stack. So for this method, we're going to do a linear scan of the string S. So we shall use a path is even Boolean variable to check if the path we have seen is even count or odd count. So for example, when we see a star, so we'll push it to the stack. When we see a pipe, so we first check if the previous pipe is even. So if it's even, it means that this new pipe is going to be a start. So we're going to set this pipe is even to be false. And then if pipe is even is false, it means the current pipe is going to be closed. So for this case, we're going to pop stack until it's empty or until we popped out a previous pipe. Then we're going to set pipe is even to be true. So finally, the number of stars remained in the stack are the things were to be counted. So we're going to return the length of the stacks. So that's the first method. Let's first look at the code, which is very simple. So first we do some initialization. For example, stack is empty and the pipe is even. So we are going to set it to be true. Then we are going to iterate over the character. So over the string S. So if character not in star or pipe, so in this case we're going to continue. So this is easy to understand. And otherwise, if character equals star, we're going to push this character into the stack append character. Notice that even at now we push the star into the stack, it may not be counted. So otherwise means character is a pipe. So we are going to check if pipe is even. So if pipe is even, it means that the current pipe is going to be a start. So we do the following two things. We append the current character of current pipe, and then we set the state of pipe is even to be false, indicating that the current pipe we're looking at is going to be a start of a pair of pipes. So otherwise, so it means that the current pipe we are looking at is a close of a pair of pipes. So for this, we're going to pop the possible stars in front. So while stack and stack -1 does not equal to pipe. In other words, it's stars we're going to pop. These stars are not going to be counted because they lie in between a pair. So once we do the pop, there are two possibilities. Either the stack is empty or we match a pipe. We're going to pop that pipe. So if stack, so we're going to stack pop. This thing popped out must be a pipe. So with that said, so after this, all these things, we're going to set the pipe state to be true. So in other words, the pipe is even state alternates as it should be. So finally, we're going to return the length of stack, right? So for this, let's first do some check. So it passes the first one. Let's also do the third one. It passes the third one. How about the second one, which is the special case? Should return 0. So alright, yeah, for this one, maybe let's see. For this this first one, let's print the state of the stack and the Boolean variable, just to have a better understanding for this. For let's do something like this: I equals 0, and then before we enter this I, we'll print f enter state enter index I state. So here, what's the stack? And what's the pipe? Is even state. Pipe is even. So also I will print out the state after this state index. Let's do something like this. So finish state. So then basically I need to let's see, increment I by 1. So let's test for this the Leetcode one. So yeah, this is the enter state. So let's print maybe let just as it is, enter state 0 and 1 and end. So this is the end state. So we have two stars in between. Let's also see this one. We should have 5 stars. Right, so yeah, finally we have 5 stars. So that's about the first case. So let's comment out this thing. And check for all the cases. It passes all the cases. So now let's do another version. So for the second version, we'll just use a count. We notice that so as long as the characters is after the even count of paths, we're going to count them. For example, this is the first one, this second one. So second one, these two are going to be counted, right? So similarly here, so the first one, second one, these two are going to be counted. This is the third one and the fourth one. Then these three are going to be counted. So in other words, after the even counts, we're going to count those stars. So for this, we're going to use a direct count method. So here we just need to initialize in stars and in paths. So we first set them to be 0, and then we just do a traversal. Then we just increment the in paths. So the increment will check if the character equals path or not, right? So then we are going to count the stars. The stars count are those actually first it needs equals to the star. And second, the path count should be even. So n paths modulo 2 should be even. So that's the main essential point after we see the simulation. So then we're going to return n stars. So let's do a check to see if it works. Yeah, for this it works. And also let's check the first example to make sure it works. Yeah, it works. And then for example 2, it worked as expected. So now let's submit for the generic case. Yeah, it passes the generic case. I guess for this problem, so that's about it. So we provide two solutions as in practice. One is a simulation by stack. So the code is relatively longer compared to the second method, but it's good to understand the details. And for the second one, so we did a direct count. The code is relatively shorter. So actually, if we like, we can even compact the code. I guess that's about it. Thank you very much.